Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're diving into a modern parable, one about a jester's journey right into the heart of a really uncomfortable truth. He's stepping into a world that's basically designed to show us what we try to hide, a place where even the shadows have a way of casting a revealing light.
Our story really kicks off here, at this threshold. This quote just sets the stage perfectly, doesn't it? It describes a place that looks familiar, but just feels fundamentally wrong. It's a place that's built to make us finally face all the things we as a society have just decided not to talk about.
So, we enter what's called the uncanny forest. And let me tell you, this is not just a bunch of trees. Think of it as a permanent home for the in-between, A kind of mythic space where all the ordinary rules just don't apply.
Okay, so to even get your bearings in this forest, you've got to understand its physics. It operates on this principle called the geometry of the grotesque. And what does that mean? Well, it's the idea that a certain kind of light can actually bend around corners. It illuminates the hidden shadow side of our reality that direct normal light could never find. So, you might be asking, why is the jester even here? Well, it's definitely not for a pleasant walk. He's on a mission, really. A mission of self-discovery. He wants to understand his purpose, not in the polished halls of the kingdom, but right here, surrounded by the primal honesty of the earth. He's trying to strip away the performance and just see what's left. And it's here, deep inside this shadow-shrouded canopy, that the jester finally sees it. A sight that is somehow all at once, totally ridiculous, and absolutely terrifying.
He sees a dragon, but listen, this is no fairy tale beast. This thing is the manifestation of something way deeper. It's the spirit of Mephistopheles, that force that always denies, that always negates. It's the not-self, basically, embodying everything the kingdom defines itself against. And it has this really weird double nature. It looks almost comical at first, but you can feel this ancient, terrible dread just hiding right under the surface.
Now, this is absolutely crucial to understand. What's the dragon's purpose? It's not here to burn down villages. It's a catalyst. Its very presence is meant to force what's called a shared reckoning, to drag a hidden, festering truth out into the open for every single person to see.
All right, let's really get into this. The jester looks at this dragon's flight and he sees a kindred spirit. See, while the whole kingdom is trying to ascend, to climb up towards some glorious but totally false summit, both the jester and the dragon are on an inverted journey. They're going down. They're descending through failures and all these uncomfortable truths to find out what's real at the very, very bottom.
And as this dragon flies, its cry echoes through the forest. It's a sound that carries this immense, unspoken weight.
And then this number just hangs in the air. 10,000. And look, this isn't a literal count. You have to feel this number. It's the psychic weight of all the unspoken truths, the moral debt that's been piling up for centuries, while an entire kingdom just looked the other way.
And the source of all this torment? It's not some angry god. The parable calls it a blight of revelation. It's the agony that comes from within when you just can't ignore the truth of who you are anymore. It's the hell of seeing clearly for the very first time. In this moment, the dragon stops being just a creature. It becomes a mirror, a grotesque mirror, reflecting the deep, internal rot of the kingdom. It's a decay so profound that the power of the king and the wisdom of the philosopher are just completely useless against it.
And right here, we see the core conflict laid bare. On one side, you have the kingdom's way. It's all performance, ceremony, hiding behind ideals. And on the other side, the dragon's truth. A brutal, painful revelation of things as they actually are, forcing everyone to confront that empty void between what we claim to be and what we really are.
But here's the wild paradox. This horrifying revelation, this blight, it's not just darkness. It actually brings with it this strange and really powerful kind of illumination. The dragon, it glows with this emerald light, and this light doesn't just blast away the darkness, it seeps through the cracks. This is that geometry of the grotesque in action, right? It's reaching the shadow side of the soul, and it marks the end of a long, long silence, the end of pretending that the heavens are just watching without any judgment.
And then, the jester has this incredible realization. The dragon isn't his enemy. It's the ember of the earth. It's the thing that provides that necessary primal discomfort that keeps your soul from just giving up, from extinguishing itself. It's like the grit in the oyster, the irritant that forces a beautiful response.
And bam! This encounter validates the jester's entire existence. He finally gets it. He's not meant to be a beacon of truth himself. No, his true purpose is to be the instrument, the prism, the very specific angle that allows the light of truth to bend just right and illuminate all those dark, hidden places.
So this meeting in the forest, it fundamentally changes the jester. His journey doesn't end here. In fact, this is where it finally becomes clear. He doesn't see a monster anymore. Now he sees a witness, something that has been watching the moral choices of the world with the ancient, unblinking patience of stone. It doesn't act, it doesn't judge, it just remembers.
And this forces the jester to confront something the Source calls ignoble knowledge. What's that? It's the failure of seeing the truth and then doing nothing. It's building a whole belief system purely for your own comfort. It's insisting that the world has meaning when, really, the universe owes you absolutely none. So his path forward becomes crystal clear. It's not about climbing higher. It's about letting all those performances just fade away. It's about intentionally descending through his own failures and the kingdom's lies, all to finally reach that one place where reality, the true thing, actually lives.
This is such a powerful choice. The jester literally turns his back on the easy, direct light of the star, which is this symbol of unconditional truth. He knows his purpose isn't to be the light, but to be the signpost that points into the uncanny, into the darkness where a totally different kind of illumination is needed.
And so, the jester continues on his downward road. And the parable leaves us all with this final, provocative thought. When all the performances are stripped away, when all the lies are exposed, what actually happens when you have to face the world without a script?